Hello, hello everybody. James here. I haven't did a video in quite a while, and I saw a video on one of the commentators. It's about this man, and it's from a different part of someone else's channel. And before I go into the video, um, I'm going to give you a little background story. Um, before I start before I start this video. This can apply to anybody. This can apply to any individual, somebody with disability, somebody with a different language, someone who wear a different wardrobe, someone with different sexual orientation. But I'm mainly going to make this video to black men and possibly black women because we're one of the groups that really encounter stuff like this in America. Runaway slave got this story about this gentleman that he was getting harassed on the job, and he ended up killing 8 workers on his job, and it was a tragic situation that it's pretty bad when you feel like you're on the job and you feel to that point that you get to that point you feel anger to the point that you feel violent and you act out. It's time to get up and leave. But I'm gonna tell you a story after this video. But this is from another content creator.
If so, you are now eligible.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my channel, Runaway Slave. This channel was created to promote my self-published masterpiece, The N-Word is No Secret in the Service. I wrote this book after I spent over 10 years as an officer in the United States Secret Service. During this time, I learned what true foundational, institutionalized, or systemic workplace racism is and how it affects my people. If you would like to purchase this masterpiece, just click the link down in the description. If you enjoy the content and would like to support the channel, please continue to like, share, and subscribe. In addition, if you would like to make a donation, we do have a cash app, which is $runawayslave609. Okay, let's cook. Okay, people, so today we're going to talk about a brother by the name of Omar Thornton. But first, I want to highlight a sub on the channel by the name of Brian Simpson. Big up to Brian Simpson. He left a comment on the Anthony Farrell video, which is very similar to this, and it actually reminded me of this Omar Thornton situation that happened in 2010. It kind of went past me, but as soon as I heard the name, I was like, whoa, yeah, I remember that. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk a little bit about Omar Thornton. Okay. So again, this story went down in the year of 2010. Okay. So Omar Thornton was a 34-year-old black man, always had a good reputation, okay? And he was known to family and friends and co-workers as a laid-back man. He was nonviolent. They say that he was a mama's boy. He did not drink, smoke. He was never arrested, always had a legal job, never in trouble. So he was dealing with a situation, right, of workplace discrimination, work racism, racial battle fatigue, blue-collar job, white man, bullying, Pittsburgh Steelers shirts, Green Bay Packers jerseys, writing stuff on walls. You know the type of places we talking about, yo. Okay. So his job, where he was dealing with this stuff at, was at a place called Hartford's Distributors Company in Connecticut, okay? So he's in Connecticut at this distributor, and it was also kind of like Anthony Farrell. They dealt with beer and alcoholic beverages or whatever, alcohol beverages. So Omar Thornton had been working at this place for 2 years. He worked inside the warehouse, and then he worked his way up, and he eventually became a driver. Now, when Omar Thornton was such a good employee that he worked his way up to being a driver, and he was the only black driver there. Put a check mark by that. Omar Thornton was the only black driver there. That's a problem. But when you're dealing with these kind of people, it just shows that he must have had some kind of value to him. They thought enough of him to move him into this position being a black man, and they say that he was the only black driver there. Okay, he was pretty much selected because he was a good employee. He had a good reputation, and that's what it was, especially being a black man. Now, problem at this job, Omar Thornton had been very vocal to his family and friends about how racist the company was. He spoke to this about this very often. He said he was tired of it. He was tired of the workplace bullying, the racism, discrimination. He said that he was often targeted by his superiors because he was black. And remember, again, he's the only black driver there. He's the only person to go from warehouse to driver. He's a black man. He's the only black driver there. Okay, so Omar Thornton said he witnessed racial writings, drawings of nooses and things like that on the wall, on the bathroom walls of this place. Just a real racist white environment. He got tired of the racist taunts from coworkers and things like this, and he complained to his family, he complained to his fiance and friends about this nonsense. He often said that he was tired of it, you know what I'm saying? But I believe that since Omar Thornton had a reputation for being such a mellow, level-headed, laid-back man, they figured, oh, well, no big deal, he'll work that out. It'll be all good. But he often brought this to his attention. Remember, this is a reputation of a man who doesn't do anything bad. They say he's non-violent, harmless, doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, never been in trouble, always had a job. This is Omar Thornton. But he's complaining about this to his peoples, to his family, to his girlfriend, to his friends. So, what the story turns at is Omar Thornton's working at this place, at this company, and they said that he had been caught on video stealing beer or taking beer. This is what they said. Somebody by the name of John Hollis, who is the Teamsters legislative representative at the state capitol, said that he was told that Thornton had been caught on video on a camera in the warehouse stealing beer. Now, this man, John Hollis, also, who's the Teamsters representative at the state capitol, he gave a great character reference. I mean, yeah, he gave Omar Thornton a great character reference, people. This is a white man, and he said Omar Thornton is good friends with his son-in-law, and he had nothing but good things to say about Omar Thornton. Everybody did. Everybody. That's why these people could tolerate him in his company being a black man, and he can move up to a position of a driver. Something that they just don't, one of them places they don't have no black people hit them. It's one of them hardcore racist places, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So, they said they caught Omar Thornton stealing beer, right? So basically they said that he had to come into a meeting. They scheduled this meeting for a Tuesday, which was August 3rd, 2010. He was to come in, and they were going to talk to him and confront him about this situation. Okay? So, the story goes, and I'm going to read a little bit. Okay? It says, it was the busiest time of the day at Hartford Distributors. The morning shift changed, and among the dozens of warehouse workers, sales representatives, and executives inside the sprawling building in Manchester, Connecticut, was the company's newest truck driver about to lose his job. The driver, Omar S. Thornton, 34, came in at 7 a.m. on Tuesday for a disciplinary hearing. Mr. Thornton had been with the company for 2 years, still new, in a family-run business where others had been on the payroll for decades. He had reason to be worried. His bosses said that they had a video showing him stealing beer from the company. He might have also had cause to be angry. He had complained to his girlfriend of being racially harassed, right? He complained about being racially harassed at work. The woman's mother, since it's his girlfriend's mother, said that his grievances and the things that he said and when he addressed these things, they didn't do anything, they went unaddressed. Okay? So, when he went into this meeting, they gave him, an ultimatum, like, look, you could resign, Omar Thornton, or we're going to fire you. You could resign or we'll fire you. So, Omar Thornton said, okay, I'll just resign. He's calm, chilly, yo. He's talking to these people, he's calm, chilly. He said, I'll just resign. But what they didn't know is that Omar Thornton came into that meeting with a Ruger SR9 15-shot automatic and a red bag filled with ammo. Okay, they didn't know he had that. So he took this Ruger SR9 out and began hitting them, yo. So he began hitting them, he opened fire, he moved through the warehouse as his toll mounted, they said. He shot fellow drivers and a company executive and a local union president, said the authorities. When he was done, 8 people lay fatally shot, 2 more were wounded, and Mr. Thornton, following the blueprint for so many other mass shootings, had killed himself. Okay. Now, so Omar Thornton, he went in there and he did this. He got tired of the racism, the racial battle fatigue, they say, and this is what he did. You know, he was supposed to come in there to this meeting. You know, allegedly he was stealing beer. We're going to get to that though. But what's interesting about this, people, is Omar Thornton just didn't go crazy and randomly kill people. You know, he didn't just go to the break room and spray and just see people walking down the hallway, popping people in the head. He was seeing people and disregard them, like letting them, okay, boom, okay, that's whatever, whatever. You know, he was actually moving around people. You know, he went right at the people he claimed promoted this racist environment to him. This is what his girlfriend said, as far as the victims are concerned, right? His girlfriend said, every one of the victims was a person I heard Omar mention. He didn't go around randomly shooting people. He knew these people were the people who harassed him. She said the rampage was vengeance. He targeted his tormentors, which I believe 100% because, you know, they clearly said that he was going around people. He didn't just go, you know, spray and pray, just let loose. He went at people that he actually felt that he was on a mission, you know, to get. This is what he did, you know. This is how he dealt with workplace racism, racial battle fatigue. He couldn't take it anymore, and he just exploded. Now, people, first, I gotta say, I can't condone this, y'all. I understand it, but I can't condone going in and killing people. You know, this is not the right thing to do, y'all. I understand it, but I can't condone it. Now, if you are somebody who's considering something like this, just think like this. Don't put too much, unless one of them put their hands on you straight up. They put them hands on you. They kicked you, they did something to you, to your car. They, you know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You got to respond with violence. But forget them racist pigs and just think about your family for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Forget that job. Think about your family for a minute. You know, leave the job, get your head right, go get another one. Yeah, you're going to deal with racism at the other job too that you get, but maybe it won't be as bad. Who knows? But when you do, you should be motivated by the plans that you have to move on and get out of that job, and some plans that you're going to have to start your own business or do whatever you're going to do. Because obviously, when you're doing stuff like this, you're somebody who can't handle racism at all. At all. Like you can't, and as a black person, you're going to have to deal with racism some kind of way. Yes. You're going to have to work around it. You're going to have to figure out a blueprint or a way to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I know this. Y'all know this too, the people who are listening.
Yes.
This was somebody who needed to, you know, pretty much own his own business, have his own trucking business or whatever, where he's out doing his own thing. Yeah, he's going to deal with racism, but he can kind of control things a little bit more. Exactly. This kind of environment with his personality and the person he was and his white male dominated racist blue collar environment, no. You know what I'm saying? You know, Omar Thornton, he was known as a mellow man, laid back, but he just couldn't take it. People, before you do this, just go ahead and leave, man. You got a family, you got peoples. You know, it ain't worth it. Pretty much everybody who's listening to this, you've been through this.
I'm gonna stop it right here. I'm gonna give you a little story about myself. I felt like at one time I didn't go through the racism that he went through, but I've been talked to like I was a piece of crap, and I was the only black man at the job, and this was about, and I was about his age. I'm in my 50s now, but this I was about 31 when this happened to me. You know, in this I had a supervisor, you know, and something happened where he kind of blasted me out, and you know, instead of pulling me to his side, if you have some problem with me, and don't blast me out in front of other people. Pull me to the side, tell me what I did. But he has this kind of personality that he kind of blasted me. And one time he did this up at the workplace, and I tell you, it took the will of God to hold me back. That I just wanted to take something out in that yard and knock the crap out of him. But I didn't. But I didn't do it. And come to find out, I talked to some coworkers. He did this to some other people before. In fact, he went to a bar up in a little town that up in here in Ohio, which is like the company was out of Painesville, Ohio. And one night, I guess he did this to some woman, and it got back to her boyfriend, and he was out at the same place, and someone took care. Put it this way, took care of business. So, and after that, it changed because I was really upset. I was peed old, and I was always on time, friendly with the other co-workers. I'm a kind of person, non-confrontational, pretty much, laid back kind of dude. I just want to get along, do my job, and be friendly. But I don't go walk around with a harboring a grudge or anything like that. And so this can happen, and leads us to say, when you feel like you get to that point, and you feel like you got that spirit, don't do what he do. Quit the job. It's not worth it. Leave the job. Resign. Because there's other opportunities. I know it's going to resonate for a while. It resonated for a month. Man, I wish I could do this and did it. Some things you just got to let go and let time catch up with it. And I was at a job recently, and this happened last year. Another incident where, I started this job, was a pharmacy job, delivery job, and it's a part-time job. I made a couple little mistakes. One mistake was, like, I went to the hospital. I was supposed to drop off this medication. I've been making the right stops in the right places. But what happened was, this one time, it was in the same location, and it was two different places in the hospital, and they got somebody got upset, and then the boss told me one time, and that was cool, and it was like months later, and I accidentally rushing, not think about it, and I did it again. But he pulled me to the office, and he just come, okay, and it was a clean lady and other people there, right? So I said, okay, telling me, James, da 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 da. And he's not considering the time. I'm driving a company vehicle. I'm going as fast as accurately driving at the rate of speed, because if you speed in these company vehicles, they're not going to pay for your ticket. My co-workers told me, I'm getting there. Get on time. I get to the place early. I'm getting there half hour out early so they can get set up and put the stuff in there and get moving. I get in, get out, get and move. But he one time just went off on me for no reason, and saying that he claimed that I'm coming back later than what I was, and which I wasn't. Every time I was on that route, I timed it. I would leave, and I would move fast. I never, like, it was other gentlemen, and I was the only two blacks at this company. I'm the kind of guy that, because I would hear from my co-workers that house on the older gentlemen, they would stop, eat breakfast, and get their shit late. These are white gentlemen that did this stuff. And so, they kind of gripe and bitch about it, but they didn't come at them like the way they came at me. And so I'm like, dang, I never stop and eat. I wait till I get done with my route, then I stop and go before I go back to the place. Wait till my whole route get done, and I go back. Then I get something on the way to eat. I don't even stop unless to get some gas and get some to eat. And when I get some to eat, I go to the drive-thru. And he's saying I'm coming back late. And at the time, here outside of Columbus, Ohio, it's always construction. So, sometimes you run into traffic. This is on the way back, and it's not like when I get back to the place, they always they have it where the next driver that coming after me, they give him a delivery, and then they had to stir up the medication, wait for about an hour or two so it'll settle, so it can take it to the hospital. So by the time I get back there, I ain't got much to do but make and just clean up and just wash out tubs and things like that and get prepared for the other things. And so so he come at me, and this one co-worker, I knew he was something. I was cool with all the other co-workers there. I was cool and laid back, and because the midnight shift, I can work with this one lady and this one guy. We cool, he showed me, because a couple of times I left the key, and I ran out without getting the key, and it was cool. It's like he said, James, and I felt bad, like dang, because I couldn't go back. Sometimes the security guard didn't have the key, so they told me to come back and drive back and get the key. But this one time, this guy, he was on the way home, was on the route, so he dropped off the keys, no problem. It was one of those things that sometimes when you're running, you're rushing, you have to really pay attention in the morning. It's like three or four, I'm getting up at two and getting on the road at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and taking this medication. So when it's there, it's already settled in, and they can put the patient. It was an IV stuff to put an IV to take pictures in your heart. So that's what I was delivering. So this one coworker I had, I'm working alongside. I'm doing my thing, being safety inside because it's a hot radioactive area too. I'm doing safety agents, so I'm moving at my own pace, and he stopped and said, "What are you doing? Why are you doing it like that? Just come out the back." I'm like, I'm just like, why are you tripping on me? It's no rush. Why you got? Then this young white kid that was an intern did the same thing. I looked at the whole situation, seeing if he gonna bitch at him. He did the same thing I did and didn't say nothing to him. He didn't say nothing. In fact, he was just joking around with him, and he went on about their business. But he had to watch over me. Just watch over me for some reason. And I'm older. These young guys were like pharmacy interns. So they come in. They have an intern where they come in and learn the whole thing about the pharmacy field and everything. And I'm just a driver, But it's just that the way it come at me. I mean, it was no racial incident like the way this guy did. But I understand, and as a black man, what you go through, because they always thinking that you incompetent, or they always thinking that you about to steal something or take something and out of something like that. No matter what you do, and you take something and they watch you. I mean, the white guy can do 10, 15 things, but if there's a black man there, they're gonna keep extra eyes on you, because in their mind, black people either they incompetent, lazy, or they're a thief. And some people carry the spirit into the job. But I just wanted to make a note of that. And so, yeah, if you ever feel like if you're a black woman, listen to this, or any other group, non-white person, or sexual orientation, or of a different religion, whatever, don't let someone do that to you. Get off the job. Do not, don't let someone push you. Hey, it's a job. It's a nickel and dime job, and you'll get another one. Maybe it might take you a while, but you'll get another job. And really, that's what this pandemic did. And so you don't have to deal with racist people. You don't have to deal with it as much, like he said. But I'm gonna let you hear the rest of the story. It was really sad.
Was listening to this. You've been through this at work. You've been through workplace harassment. People don't know how serious and severe it is. Racial battle fatigue, man. A lot of dudes end up in the hospital, because of this stuff.
I had high blood pressure.
A lot of people end up in the hospital because of racial battle fatigue. They go there, they don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But
he's right.
Wow, this is how we dealt with it, y'all. And this was a horrible working place, and it wasn't the place for him. Even though they moved him into that position, they did that. This is why I believe they did that. They did that. This is why I believe they did that. They did that because I believe that Omar Thornton was one of them laid-back, non-confrontational, as they said, non-violent guys, black man, and he was putting up with so much to the point where he was a flex tool for some of these guys here to be racist. He's the only black guy there. He's trying to do the right thing. He's being quiet. These guys are shooting out these racist jokes, saying this racist thing, and he probably just give them a giggle and keep it moving because he's trying to stay alive. He's trying to just work at the job. But the thing about these racist, hardcore racist white men is when you do that, they don't think in their mind, okay, that's enough. That they keep going more and more. These guys are bullies, y'all.
Yeah.
They're bullies.
Yeah.
So you could imagine somebody like him, he was non-confrontational. So for them, that's a green light to just keep on going. If he was somebody that was like, had some mouth or was, barking at him a little bit, they wanted to move him into that position as the only black driver. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you got to look at this. They moved Omar Thornton into this position because he was a good employee. Of course, most black people, when we go to work, we good employees. There are soup sandwiches and slobs amongst us, but they usually don't get jobs or it don't last long anyway. But he was a good employee. He did his job.
I was there for my job for 7 months. This happened.
That's a hint.
The second job. My other
He's
job
the
was
first
at a
black
year.
person that I believe that they could tolerate, because they knew, we could say and do what we want around him, but little did they know they couldn't. He was just sitting back, taking it all in, and he was going to explode like he did. You know what I mean? What y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? How that went down? Get down in the comments. It's very obvious that Omar Thornton was a good employee if he's the only black person that moved into the position of driver. But sometimes that's a sign and not a good one, because why you have to think sometimes it ain't always like this, but sometimes it is, and I think it was in this case. Why they moved him to that position? They were really racially harassing him because they felt that they can get away with it with no recourse. Now they do that to anybody, but I think in this situation they just kept going and going and going because he was just such a nice guy, and he has a reputation for being such a nice guy, whatever. In addition, he's one of those people that I could tell he had a girlfriend. He had a white girlfriend. Now that's another sign to me right there, where that made them also think that he was a lot more tolerable of it. He probably had that mentality, like at first, like, okay, I'm gonna go in here and do my job and chill regular. I'm trying to accept people for who they are. And these people, they knew he had a white girlfriend. I'm gonna tell you something about these white guys, these bullies. A lot of times, when they see a black guy with a white girlfriend, they take that as a sign of weakness also. Because I've heard white guys talk about this before and say it on the low. It's like, this is a black guy he's a white guy. He really wants to be white. Oh, he has a white girlfriend. Okay, yeah, we could do this to him. A lot of times in these white male dominated environments, having a white girlfriend, a white wife is a sign of weakness to them. Although they may act like they appreciate it, they know they could use you as a flex tool that do their little N-word jokes and say little dumb stuff like, I know black people do, like, why do they all have dreads on this team? Doing all that. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've been.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story, man. But I think that was the situation with Omar Thornton here. You know what I mean? And I think that they thought. He complained to his peoples, but I think that they thought, okay, we can keep doing this because obviously they liked him. He was non-confrontational. For them to like you and put you in a spot like that and move you to a driver position, you're the only black one, you have to be some kind of confrontational to them.
Yes.
In addition to a good worker at these hardcore racist places.
That's true.
And then they knew he had a white girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't seem like it means anything, but trust me, it does. It does. In these environments, these white men often see that as a sign of a weak black man. Oh, we can do what we want. Oh, he's not really one of them. He got a white girlfriend. Oh, that's a sign of weakness. He's got a that's a sign of weakness to a lot of white people. While they may accept these guys, you know, in certain situations and act cool, they just really want to use them as a flex tool because they've been dying to tell their N-word jokes and their derogatory jokes. And who better to do it with than somebody who we think is non-confrontational? I think that's what happened with Omar Thornton. Yo, get down in the comments, let me know what y'all think about that, man. But little did they know. Little did they know he had the Ruger and he could shoot. You know what I'm saying? And he came in. He came in, y'all. He came in. And he went at his targets, yo. I just wish he wouldn't have did this, man. Because Omar Thornton actually has a mom and a family that cares about him. His mother actually wrote a book, you know, not defending his actions, but talking about workplace racism and discrimination and things that really happen. His mother, her name is Lily Holiday. Yeah, Lily Holiday. She has a book on Amazon and talking about this. You know what I'm saying? And yo, this was racism. This was racism. Straight up, hardcore racism in his white place. I believe he was being too much of a punching bag. He couldn't take it anymore, you know. He appeared as if he was okay at work, but he just blew up. He came in with the Ruger, yo, and he went at the people that he wanted to go at. That's another sign, you know. It wasn't no, I'm just going here just shooting everybody. Come and shoot the receptionist. I'm gonna shoot it. No, he went at these dudes who he felt he had a beef with. You know what I'm saying? Get into the comments, y'all. Let me know, man. Anybody that's related to Omar Thornton, also get into the comments. Let me know if you have more information about this, because for some reason I think this whole still in the beard thing, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You know, anything is possible, but I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Something else was going on here. Now, of course, when this was all said and done, somebody from the Teamsters local 1035, you know, which is where who he dealt with or who he worked under, they said that Omar Thornton never reported any instances of racial discrimination. That's what they pulled. Now, you know good and well, if Omar Thornton would have went in there complaining of racism, you all would have retaliated against him. You would have called back to the warehouse. You would have contacted the owners of this private family-owned company. Exactly. Then they would harass. People are not stupid.
Exactly.
Oh, he never complained. Shut up. It's nooses on the wall, written is all kind of derogatory language.
Exactly.
Go in there, you've seen it. The owners of the company saying they didn't care. They didn't care because that's what kind of environment it was. And they had somebody in there that they thought they could continue to be their little flex tool, right? And he went out on him. He pulled the Ruger out on him. Wow. Wow. Yo, if you're going through this, try to chill and live another day, man. I know we don't care about these racist people at these jobs. It ain't about them, it's about you, you know. He just went out and then, you know, his family, he called his mom on the phone and said, Mom, I did this, I popped this person. He called her up, he said, all right. So his mom on the phone talking to him, and he telling her, all right, I gotta go. Because then he blew himself away, you know. Then he blew himself away. But get down in the comments, y'all. Get down in the comments, let me know. Anybody know Omar Thornton? Anybody know more about this story?
It's sad it got the 911 call. I just didn't want to hear that. It's just sad what happened to him and to the video. They're not gonna he's right. They wouldn't believe you because, you know, black people always complain about the race thing, and then they're like, oh yeah, well we got to follow up with it because we don't want that urban league and that NAACP coming at us or something like that. So that's why that's why they can get away with not hiring us. And if they do hire us or whatever, all they gotta say is, well, none of them didn't apply, or they can use a thing like, you know, can use your job credit score. There's different ways they can still discriminate against you. They can still find a way to discriminate, or they don't have to directly say it, or they just tell you that someone already got the job. But sometimes when you're a black person, a woman, or a person of a different race, or ethnic religion or sexual orientation, they can, trust me, they can find some way to discriminate against you, even though the law said that it is. But they don't value that. They don't value that. And if you do get on it, that's when you really find out what it's really about. There were three black gentlemen that was in California, and they went through it on their job. It was I think it was either a distributing. I think it was Miller, or I don't know. It was one of those beverage distributing companies out there in California, and it was these three black guys. They got harassed so bad that they ended up they had filed a lawsuit, and the stress became so much that one of them, I think, died. One of them was in the hospital, and it just mentally took it out of him, destroyed him. So I'm telling you, and if a black man, young black man, or black woman listen to this, you don't have to tolerate this. Don't listen. Don't. You can be strong, but if you feel like you get to that point, and you feel like someone really disrespecting you to that point, and don't let it get to a level to where you do like what he did. That was extreme level, because there's always other opportunities out here in this world. And I know I felt like that at time a couple times in my life too. This last job I didn't feel like that, and it really did, because like, dang, I ain't do, because I always come to, I was that good worker, come on time, get there early, get on the job, get it out the way, get it done, boom, everybody's happy, and speed it up. But they find some way to find something when you're doing something too right, you're doing too fast, you never can win. So in this pandemic, still the pandemic year, do your own thing. And that's what I learned. Start your own bit, find your own trade. And I'm to the point, I'm at an age, man, I ain't taking none of that stuff. And that's what kept me going. And I had another job before that job, the year before, last year, I was working at a transportation company, picking up pilots, and I was taking them to and from the whole airport hotel. I never had a problem with the pilots. I never had a problem with the stewardess. It's just that this manager, one time, I didn't get back with her, and she got really nasty and put a real nasty note at me. And, well, who you think you is, and da 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 da. I'm like, what the fuck? Why can't you be more cooperative and all this stuff like that? This was a white woman I had to deal with. So it ain't just white men. It's sometimes white women can get like that too. And so, and then my buddy, when I told my friend who's white, he lives in Northwest Ohio. He knew me since we went to college back in the day. And I told him about it. He said, man, sound like they mess with you because you black. He just come out and said it. Tim don't pull his tongue. That's one thing I love about him. He don't pull his tongue. He said, and I told him the whole story. He said, he just come out and said they were messing with you because you were black. Just tell him the story. This was a white man that told me, that one of my best good friends. So I say this, this is the that's why black people, there's other ways to make money online. There's other ways to make your money. And like you say, you can do your own business, and you might have to tolerate it. Once in a while, who you dealing business, which is you ain't got to deal with it for a certain amount of time. And you ever feel like you got, and that's why what encouraging me is watching these videos on YouTube to keep my sound mind, to hear other brothers and other black men and black women. That's why I don't hate on them and be jealous at them, because what they do, and they got their own business, and however they living off the grid, and they live in different countries and stuff like that, and you got other black people shaming them because you should be on the grid with us. Why? How are you going over there and living your best life? eating the best food like other people have gone overseas and enjoy themselves, and you got your own people sitting back and knowing that you went through. They might go through. They might experience some form of racism. It may be not directly. It might not be direct. It could be housing. It can affect the school. It can affect when you go to the store. It can affect because you always constantly the stereotype. And the only way, that I had to really do it is the spirit of God had to say, "You are king. You are you're son of the King of the Most High King, God." Because that hit you in the spirit like, "Dang, God, I ain't doing anything. I'm doing everything right." But even the Lord knows there's some injustice. And trust me, before I start accusing somebody of something, I'm not the kind of person to go around saying racist, racist, racist. This person's racist. Let me tell you something. I'll wait. As I get older, I'm wiser because I know it don't come directly. That's why I use the saying go. When it comes, this different form of racism. Get your skin here clean and let you know, hey, ain't no black people. You go to some place like Vidor, Texas, and it's out in open. But when you come into little towns in the Midwest, in the West, and the East, whatever, you get on the job, but it's hidden. It's kind of hidden in the scene until you don't know it till the last minute. Till it come racism comes in different forms in America. It don't directly come at someone calling you the N-word. It can come in the code because they feel like black people is too dumb enough and too slow enough to pick up the code. And there's some people who walk around in America with that mindset when it comes to different groups of people. And black people, black Americans, is the ones that they do. And they feel like things are handed to us. Things are just given to us because we bitch and we moan. You know what I'm saying? So they get this condescending attitude. You know what I'm saying? And so, but what I'm saying is, pump the brakes and stop. And if you're a black man, black woman, anybody, you always got an option. You don't have to deal with ignorant people. That is that ignorant because what their perception, what they see here, and what they see it in their mind, and they ignorantly speak out with their mouth. You don't have to deal with nothing like that. And that's what I did. And I applied a couple companies, and I picked up on that. That they really, they know how to smile, and they'll let you apply for the job, but they're not really gonna call you. I've experienced that too, and I can tell when a place is predominantly white when they do that. They don't know. See, I've been around. I know. It's like they expect a white guy, a white female, but they can't directly tell you that. But they'll let you apply for the job because if they know you go back and tell them that person discriminated, it'll be all over. It ruin their little business. But see, when you've been around them, you pick up their mannerism, certain people's mannerism. Now they don't have to just tell you. They can. And if you call and say, "Hey, I was calling about the application." Well, oh yeah, well, we looked at it and we found somebody that thank you for applying for the job, but we found someone for the position for that job. And they can say that, and you never know. They can do it. They can do it politely. They can discriminate you politely. That's why make your own money, so you don't have to work for somebody. And the best way to do it is make your own money, invest your own money in stock, real estate, and so you can buy your own real estate that the company that discriminated against you on. Then you become an owner. Then they paying you. You know what I'm saying? If you get one of the companies where you get and you get dividends, you're getting paid off of them. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what it was. You could become a king. You could become a queen if you're a woman. Listen to this. And it don't matter. You could be a silent partner. That's what rich people do. They're silent partners. But whatever you do, don't. But if you're a black man, a black woman, but if you feel like you're at that point, leave the United States. If you can afford to make money in a different part of the country, and this racism stuff get to you that much, leave. Don't worry about what the black people say. Don't worry about you just got to tough it out. You tough it out, and you know what? And it's mentally it weighs on us. It could make the stress. That's stress in itself. So when you can find a way to make money and don't have to deal with that nonsense and still have your freedom. And it's not necessarily just be black people, but it could be anybody. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with someone's ignorance. You don't have to deal with and I got my little dividends, but I'm gonna do a little business. I'm tired of dealing with you going to apply for a job with someone that play. You get on the job and they play this favoritism, this nepotism shit. It's a wrap, And I'm halfway to 60 something anyway. I don't feel like dealing with that no more. I'm to the point in my life because it was stress. Had high blood pressure, hypertension, and stress, and that cause on other problems, and then you deal with them. Then it's the middle. Then it's like you're mentally going with like a boundary. You've been traumatized, in a psychological way. And the only way you can get is sometimes maybe you have to leave this country. That's why that's what when I would see people traveling, especially when I see other black men and black women traveling, it's like, wow, if I had if I could find something to make the resource, I'd get out of here too. What is there to be proud about? Sometimes I go through that, like, what is there to be proud about? When the worst thing is causing you made to be basically denigrated and be proud to be denigrated in a country that still people keep reminding you what your skin color is, and whether it's directly or indirectly. And then the sad thing about it is that you got black people that co-sign with that. They're okay with that. They want to see you. They just want you to see you in just as misery just as anybody else. That's the truth. So you find a way to get off the mental plantation and go to another part of the world and make money and sustain and live outside the United States. You do it. You do it, bruh. I'm for the passport brothers and all the black people travel. You get out of here. You go. You be free, man. Don't listen to these haters. And it was the same thing in history. You have black people that saying we gotta get the heck up off this plantation. You got some black people are here saying, what you gotta get off the plantation for? You gonna get us all in trouble. What you gonna fool? Ain't nothing over there. It's killing over there. It's this over there. When you get up to the north, and there was some black people saying that this during our ancestor time. But some black people said, the hell with this. I just gonna have to die and get the freedom. And they finally did. Sometimes to get freedom, maybe sometimes you might have to relocate. It's just to feel free. To feel your spirit, to feel free. But I just want to say that because it's not worth it. And you see, it's a great reset when the pandemic came. And people got tired putting up with bullshit from people, and they just walked off the job. And it really reset. Like, wait a minute, we need people come back because we need to pour in the economy and everything. It's just that people don't honor and respect their employees. You got the nepotism thing going on and this going on, and you just get tired. You get fed up. You just get fed up and tired. And I thank God I don't have no children, because that would be a lot of that would be a lot of pressure to have to deal with that. But yeah, I'm about to let this go in another 5 minutes. But yeah, but if you ever, the message is, if you ever feel like you get to that point and you're a non-white person, get off that job. I don't care. Get off that job, and because it's going to cost you your health, and it's going to cost you your mental health. Then you're going to be stressed out with all these things going on, and you might not be eating right. You may not be sleeping right, and that can take a toll on your body too. You know what I'm saying? Then dealing with some idiots like that can't adjust their mentality, that there's someone that they have to team up together against another race of individual to be the butt of their jokes. And I know what we talk about. They be doing innuendo, incendiary joke. There's some people that do that. That's what I call the indirect racist person. And they just do. Oh, I'm not being racist, but you do it subtly. It's like Satan. He does things subtly. But you don't have to deal with that. This life, you can make your own money, and too bad. I hope that as a race, as a people, we get together and build our own shit and look at how other communities do. That way, you ain't got to deal with too much of that shit. They have to come to you with respect, and as a nation, that's what they have to come to. They can let all the racist people stay on the outside and let them figure their own way out. But it's you, and that's how I think. And I think that's why black people, you have the Dr. Claude Andersons trying to encourage you to build up your own, support your own, and make your own, so you don't have to go and deal with people that deal with what he dealt with. You don't have to go to a company. You have your own transportation company. You have your own company and do your own thing and be your own president. You don't have to go through some nepotism and all this crazy crap just because they can't adjust their reality, that because what God put you in the body, and you're not subjugated to be subjugated because of someone's inferiority, insecurity. They're trying to make you feel inferiority about yourself. You don't have to deal with that as a black man or as a black woman or anybody that's listening to this video. You don't have to deal with it. It's either your health or in your sanity or else. Leave that job. That job ain't worth it. If you feel like that, it ain't worth it. You make your own money, you make your own thing, and tell them to kiss your ass. That's basically what, and in Dutch show, that's what I did. I can't, when that did that, I didn't directly quit. I finished out the work week because I got them enough time so they get another driver to cover next week's route. I came and packed my stuff, set it on the table, put my stuff, and say, I'm done. After the way that man talked to me, after the way he talked to me, I ain't going there cussing and raving, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to get all irate. They want you to, oh, you go to irate black dude? No. No. You ain't get me like that. You ain't like, you go out off or whatever. No. They can do it, but we do it. Oh, it's gonna be a whole different, And as far as I'm concerned, if another company don't want to hire me, fuck it. I'm gonna make my own money. That's my mentality. I'll find a way to make money. We need a pandemic, and so you gotta make it go. My thing is my problem is dedicating time, and even if I fail, try something again. But I'd rather, do something and put in enough time in me and confidence in me to do it, instead of answering somebody. I mean, you have to deal with somebody's business, but you ain't got to be the employee. They hop around, skip around, acting like you got to be all nervous and geeky and all that, and wondering that they gonna fire you off the job, and you got 90 days and all that. Forget that shit. I'm halfway. Like I said, I'm halfway to my 60s. Fuck, hell with this shit. Heck with that. Getting all like that. I'm to the point I'm tired. When you get up in your 50s, you get tired. You get in your 40s, you really get tired. So that's my conclusion of this video, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the message is, it's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it, sis. Get away from the idiots. Get away from these bigot idiots. They're gonna be like that. And one day their business is gonna fold up anyway because of what they do, and it's happening. It's gonna happen financially. See, they can be so superior, but they can't stop the unexpectedly to come, and unexpected things will come to people like that. Just a matter of time. But taking to someone's life, that's not the problem. That's not the solution. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, you guys take care. Till next time, this is James. Hope another video. Hope you like it. Some people don't. It is what it is. So you guys take it easy. You be blessed and keep your mind. I'm going for that couple minutes. And keep your mind right, and keep this sane, and don't let no one pull you down. Whatever. Just because just because you got a nice face, but you are a human being at the end of the day. You're a child of the most you created to walk this earth, not to take someone else's crap, because they're insecure about their inferiority thoughts. It's them that they can't think that they don't understand that time has changed. There's different people, there's different situation. We're not in the 1960s, 1940s no more. And the weather and everything else is proven. The times we live in is proven. The pandemic, people dying. One is not going to die before the other. Because even the same bigoted people, they're going to be people that's going to die in their family just as well as anybody else. And there's no low heaven or high heaven because of race, color, and creed. That's a fact. And to the people who got that mindset, this video don't apply to everybody just because this can apply to any race of people who got that mindset, that superiority. Oh, I don't like these people because of this and what they see on TV and what they heard. Oh well, deal with it. That's how I feel about it. But they're gonna lose in the end. Trust me when I tell you this. And you stay encouraged out there. Black men, especially black men, black women, you do your thing. You're not a slave. You're not the house servant. You're not the shiftless, lazy, incompetent, stealing person. They're the ones who are like that. They're the ones those who speak like that. They are the N-word. Because that's somebody in their family probably doing that. Alright, then, till next time, you guys take it easy and be blessed.